The gargoyles are very valuable to mind control.
Yep, for sure. If I had to guess, it's probably the priest playing Vinthier because they lose the least from it. And here we go, Rentari gearing up for another large pull here. Are they pulling together both shards, or did they just skip that final shard? I'm not quite sure here, but you see it coming in on the screen here.
There it is.
2 shards of Helkias. Bloodlust is popped. They have the Prideful buff rolling. This is all of the damage in the game. And you see Dr. J doing 75k, now 85k DPS. Can he hit 100?
Where's the 100?
He does 100k DPS.
Wow.
Uncapped damage from the Fire Mage is absolutely
What is this, BFA?
ridiculous, man.
Unbelievable
This isn't BFA,
damage,
man,
wow.
but still absolutely unreal.
So yeah, also looks like they might even be pulling it on top of the boss a little, which would be very interesting if they do that, because they know at this point how far they are ahead, right? Okay, so it looks like they're doing it anyway, which is really sadly going down. They don't have a battle rest. This is actually gonna be a full. This is gonna be a full team wipe. They're not gonna be able to do this. I don't think so. Without the healer having those. Actually, Fragments somehow managed to survive. He Shadow Melted off. It might be. I mean, if they avoid all of the... if they actually avoid all of the charges, but the AoE damage that the boss casts actually still does damage even through the shield. So... I mean, it might be possible. Let's see if they manage to do so. If we see the Gloom Squall coming up, Gingy might have to use Cauterize or whatever. Oh, okay, so he actually did Cauterize. Yeah, this looks fine. Gingy can blink this charge. You can actually not get hit by it if you just outrun it or you blink it or whatever. So it looks like Gingy avoided it. Fragments did not. So you have the bleed effect on Fragments. But DKs, they have a decent amount of self-healing, right? So it looks like he's actually fine. Maris also having a bleed on him. Fragments jumping really low. No, Fragments going down, unfortunately, with that second bleed effect. Still 9% of boss HP to go. I mean, this might be doable. I think they can do it.
It's really scary. Mirrors is sustaining over 2k HPS currently. Yeah. He's casting Vivify. He's casting Vivify for actually just the first 20 seconds of the boss after Xaylia died, trying to get the rest of the group stabilized. I think
they should actually rest Fragments when their rest is coming back, because their rest is coming back soon. I want them to actually rest Fragments instead of Xaylia.
the rest
who needs a healer? I mean,
the rest comes up in like 30 seconds now because it's at 20, but then they have the 20 seconds of death differential.
True. Yeah, true. Yeah, it's still gonna be a while. I guess at that point the boss is just gonna be dead.
Maybe. This is definitely a feat. I think we've all been here where somebody dies and you end up 4-manning the boss for an incredibly long period of time. Echo doing a really good job of being able to stabilize, and again, I guess it's very unfortunate that they had multiple deaths, but it was like I was talking about earlier, they were able to kind of minimize the losses.
They actually did rest Fragments. I like it. Good job. As Gingy is popping the combustion, using the ice block as well, and they're just there we go. They finished with about who needs healers, really? I mean.
You're gonna get a JB tweet. Goodness. JB's gonna tweet about this now, talking about the necessity of healers.
Never have I ever seen the healers so disrespected. Unbelievable.
But General Call isn't one of those boss fights that is known for being particularly high pressure. It's not one where we usually see teams wiping, and it's one where we've seen some teams like lose their healer on pull and still kill this boss. So with that being said, they are going to get started on this boss. They have Bloodlust, they have Ashen Hallow, they have every single cooldown ever created all at once here, and you can see massive amounts of damage coming in here. 20,000 damage broken by both Dr. J and Clicks, and Igloo here for a second as well.
Wow.
Curry in 4th place at 16,000 DPS. Yeah, that is a wow. He's overtaking now into 3rd, and that's going to be the end of the boss fight. 20-second boss fight or something. Oh my goodness!
What in the world is this dungeon? Oh my goodness!
Almost there as well. They just have to finish off this boss. So something like 30 seconds or so is going to be all of the gap between these two teams. That is enough for Echo if they can make this work. And look at what they're doing. They're going all the way to this lantern. This is so bold. They are going all the way up ahead to the lantern here, and they're going to fight the first 2 halves or 2/3 of the gauntlet all at once here, opening up the lantern. And once they can kill this, they will be safe because they'll have 50% extra damage and healing. And there it goes. All of those lantern buffs coming out onto the the team, and now they get to deal like 20% of General Call's damage. Once she gets to 90%, she'll kind of go invulnerable for a bit, and then run close by, and now come back out of invulnerability, and they can keep fighting her. There it is. This is really cool. Look for them to potentially be pulling those Acolytes in as well at some point. That's something that maybe once Sigil of Silence is back, they'll be looking to pull those in. They did use that Sigil earlier in this pull, I think, so they need to wait a little bit on that cooldown. This is such a huge, huge time save, though, for Echo relative to doing this gauntlet more slowly, and there's the Sigil of Silence coming out. All of these casters are not going to be getting anything done. All of these stacks are going to be refreshed of the Lantern buff as well, and they are zooming through here, but Perplexed also going very big here at the start of their gauntlet, too.
All right, so now they're all jumping with Slowfall, trying to make their way towards this Mechagon wing. The Golden Guardian's getting there slightly faster, at least Yoda did, which is the best part. Like, if your tank is able to get there even before the rest of your DPS, the tank is able to get the mobs grouped up. But Perplexed and Golden Guardians are doing
here. Yeah, so Perplexed, Divine is going to
though.
meld. He's melding off the two big guys. Everybody's in combat with the small guys.
Big guys.
Yeah, the big guys were only in combat with Divine. So the big two warlords are going to be skipped here, and Perplex is going to pull the 5 small mobs onto the dental drill. This is not something we've seen out of anybody before.
Okay.
And this is really, really cool way to save some... Oh my goodness, what are they doing? And they're now pulling in the Arf and the Headless Clients as well.
Okay.
This is such a dangerous combination of enemies to be fighting.
Watch Divine's HP. Divine is going to be the linchpin for a pull like this. The Arf, and all of those Bone Soldiers on top of him are very scary. You do see those Bone Soldiers are stacking up that disease on Divine. He does still have his cheat death effect. I think he has both of his cheat deaths actually up for him.
And he just stands there channeling Fleshcraft at them, and that is the power of the Necrolord Covenant coming in there for Divine. And the Demon Spawns as well explodes instantly to his Throwglaive and heals him for a bunch of health as well. The Necrolord diff here coming in for Perplex.
He is manning up.
They have made one pull out of this entire wing and its defenders outside. They're spawning their Pride in the tunnel.
Yep, and if there's any place in the dungeon that they would be a mistake from PME, it's going to be in this pull right now. It actually looks like they're kind of waiting a little bit to make sure that they have both PI and Combustion up for this pull, just sitting there for a few seconds, getting themselves composed and ready. Rentari pulling the first trash pack through into the second trash pack. They'll pull one of the Stoneborn from Mini to Mind Control and use on this pull as well. And into the third boss we go. This is going to be it. If PME can pull this off without a hitch, they are pretty much home free for the rest of the dungeon. There's not much left after this for them to make any mistakes on.
All right, let's see how it goes. Rentari up to 30 to 40 necrotic seconds already. We'll see, but you can see just how tanky Rentari is with this Thrash Legendary. Right? He's not taking any sort of damage whatsoever. You can see the Absorb shield on his nameplate. You can see how big of an absorb he's got because of his Legendary. And even the Loyal Beast cast went through because of the Inspired mobs, right? You have Inspired here in this dungeon, and all of the trash is going down. Rentari tanking through the Loyal Beasts buffed Gargans plus all of the other trash and the boss. That is actually insane how well done this was.
How is that fair? He had 61 stacks of Necrotic, 6 stacks of the Gargan Bleed, and his health is, I'm fine, I'm chilling, full Absorb Shield, no big deal, not taking any damage. I'm just a bear, by the way. Just doing bear things, just doing bear pulls. It's absolutely nuts how strong this tank is for just doing ridiculous pulls.
Yep, and now you're going to have Perplexed fighting a Marth. This is honestly one of the pug killers of this dungeon. I feel like this boss, really, really difficult if you don't CC these ads. You do actually see that Shackle Undead coming in on that mage. A lot of the times we've seen in this dungeon where you have like a rogue and a Windwalker monk, so you'll have like a blind and a para and stuff like that. But the Shackle Undead also great utility that can be used as well to be able to get those mages CC'd to where, because basically whenever the Marth does his consume cast, Final Harvest, if the mobs are in a crowd control effect such as paralysis or blind or shackle or whatever, then he doesn't gain any stacks and won't kill you basically.
Yeah, I mean, they also have the Turn Evil, right, by the Holy Paladin. It's actually an ability that I almost forgot exists, because you barely ever see it, right? It's like a fear that only works on undead mobs. so it actually works on these. Which when
Does
I
that
told our
work?
paladin, can you just there we go. He's used it on one of the mages, but it got broken by 1 dot, so a frostbolt is going through. Very unfortunate. Oh
they're
no,
wiping?
Amarth isn't 5%. Everyone's just dropping low. Shine is the only one alive. I think they're gonna be
How did
wiping.
Defiant die?
Oh my god, this is gonna be a full team wipe. Shine somehow is still alive. I don't know how Shine is still alive, but he's not gonna be able to do it. 1%.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, he did it! Ashine is a literal god.
That's why he's an
Oh my
MDI
god,
champion.
I cannot believe Ashine just soloed this boss with all the ads alive.
That's why he's an MDI
Wow,
champion,
that was actually
Nagura.
incredible. Yeah, this is actually why he's the champion. That was insane. Wow. I thought there's no way he can do that.
This expansion, the mobs have to evade for a few seconds before they will snap to their threat target. And so Echo pulling those shackled souls into the mob. Oh my gosh! Did you see that in the picture-by-picture screen? On Sloth, their tank got knocked off the ledge by the Doom Winds, and the priest, with the presence of
Really?
mind to grip him back on. Oh my gosh!
Wow, I didn't see that, but that's oh my. Good job, Mr. Priest.
That was kinda sick. That was kinda
saving
sick.
the tank. Wow, nice script. I love seeing those scripts. I had so far. They are now done with the 100% trash pride, and they're gonna be melting this boss so quickly. They have all cooldowns available. They have Bloodlust available. They have the Ashen by mode. This boss is gonna be melting for them. So it's definitely DGS in the lead now, even with that 5 seconds. From the death we had earlier, that's not gonna matter at all. As we can see, General Kyle just completely melting, while Obey Alliance just now 50% on that pride. They might be pulling the boss on top of the pride eventually, but it's just not gonna be enough, I feel like, as Holo is also struggling a little bit with mana as well on their side.
Yeah, those mana problems are going to be solved as soon as the Pride goes down, but, I mean, they need to make sure that they're going to be able to survive until then, and you can see the huge damage coming out on the whole group. It's going to be the Bloodlust, though. They have the Pride buff, they have the Ashen Hallow coming down. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. Almost half of the boss's health was already taken care of by Gargoyle before Obey Alliance even got into the pull here, and their boss is dying quickly, but I don't know if they'll be able to make up this difference. Oh, it's good. I mean, look
They
at...
actually caught up quite a bit. I mean, if you look at the percentage of the boss, they did manage to catch up quite a bit.
Oh my
And,
goodness!
I mean, I think it's the Ashen difference. I don't think Mold had Ashen ready. Well, Obey Alliance did actually have Ashen. I mean, look at the amount of damage.
It's
Holo's
lower.
putting- And Chompy on the Shadow Priest is doing so much damage. And the 5 seconds difference of the death as well. I think this might actually be Obey Alliance, who is catching up here at the very last second
What is
of this
happening?
dungeon. This is unbelievable. The amount of damage from Obey Alliance is just absolutely crazy.
What?
On this single target fight. They actually just won. Wow, okay, that was unbelievable damage by Obey Alliance here at the end.
Oh my goodness,
Wow.
Obey Alliance on that one with the come from behind victory. I mean, it was close the entire way, but DGS started the fight first and everything, but Obey Alliance just destroyed General Call on that one, Tettles.
Yeah, well, I mean, it comes down to like what Nagura was saying. Mode ended up using his Ashen on the big trash pull that ended up spawning their Pride, which propelled them to it allowed them to pull call first. But Obey Alliance had that Ashen just for the pure single target boss damage, and that allowed them to slingshot back into the lead at the very end. It was weird because whenever I was watching both of the teams compete, it felt very back and forth. Where Does Gargoyle's stream had infinitely superior routing, but Obey Alliance, their comp is just a lot better. I just felt like their comp and how they played the dungeon was just so much better. You can see that like reflected in terms of the effective DPS, but their routing was worse, but their damage was just higher across the board. Obey Alliance getting ready to pull straight into the boss, doing all of their trash on top of the boss. I actually think that this is favored for Obey Alliance, and this is for one reason. The Moonkin CDs and all of this trash are not conducive to how the Prideful ends up working out. And so whenever you have to compare that to the DK, which is the direct one-to-one comparison, I think you would absolutely rather have the DK in this situation.
Okay, but look at this. Golden Guardians have their lust up in 40 seconds. Obey Alliance have it in 59, so Golden Guardians will reach their Bloodlust earlier than Obey Alliance, and I think that could be relevant in this game. I think there's a good chance that this dungeon will end while that Lust is still running, which I think means Golden Guardians will get quite a bit more value out of the cooldown. As you can see, Obey Alliance reaching 97% trash. They've dealt with their trash already, fired up, dumping some damage into the boss here. Celestial Alignment about ready for Lip, and they actually have almost all the trash dead here. So once that trash is all gone, Lip will be able to get a Celestial Alignment and a Convoke the Spirits off for massive Tredova damage. We'll switch over to the 2-box now so that we can see those health totals of Tredova. 52% for Golden Guardians, 46% for Obey Alliance. So like you said, Obey Alliance do have a little bit of a lead here.
Look at the count.
But that Lust is ready. The Lust is popped for Golden Guardians. That is a big amount of extra damage that they're going to have. Still 13 seconds on the cooldown of Bloodlust for Obey Alliance. Golden Guardians, though, pumping their cooldowns into the boss. 40% on Tredova at 99% trash count. Both teams are going to need to get a little bit of count after this, but the boss HP totals are almost exactly identical between these two teams now. 25 for the Guardians, 24 and falling, 22 for the Obey Alliance team. As both teams are 20% the exact same time, it's going to be a question of who can quickly and efficiently get that last little bit of trash count. It's going to be the Altar Time for Fired Up as he's going to run over and grab those mobs. It looks like they're coming in now. They need to make sure that they can kill this.
Golden Guardians going to kill this boss first, Stratnos.
Yes, they are. But the trash is coming in now already for Obey Alliance. Does Golden Guardians have their trash pulled yet? They only need to kill one of these larvae, I think, whereas Obey Alliance needs to kill multiple. So that is a drawback. As you can see, they're having to deal with that mechanic as well. The Mind Lock. Tredova dies for both teams. And who's going to get this count first? Who is going to do it? 98%. There it is, 100 for both teams.
Oh my
God!
We'll have to wait for the official time.
What? We gotta wait for that official time on that one. It looks like it would be Obey Alliance, but we need to double check on that one. That is just obscenely close between both of these teams. Wow, here's
It's the Golden Guardians!
Really?
It looked like Golden Guardians killed their one larva before Obey Alliance was actually able to get their 2 or 3 down. If you just looked at how they killed them, that was... You said it when we were coming to the boss, that was going to be a nail-biter, but I think that's probably the closest match we've ever had in the history of the MDI. That was crazy.
Yeah. That is actually ridiculously insane.
Less than 1 second.
20... Okay, so our official timer is that Golden Guardians won. Both of them were at 13 minutes and 20 seconds, but Golden Guardians was a third of a second ahead and did take that victory.
Golden Guardians
that is insane.
13:20 with 0.02 of a millisecond. Obey Alliance with 0.369 milliseconds.
Nice.
Man.
No.